from Television 9, Washington's news station. This is Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Gordon Peterson. D.C. City Council member Polly Shackleton says tonight she'll launch an investigation of how city licensing officials allowed a downtown abortion clinic to operate for nearly 2 years on an expired license. Last week, investigative reporter Mark Feldstein talked about Dr. Milan Vujic and his clinic and about women who say they were brutally mistreated there. Tonight, Feldstein has a follow-up report.
I think it's dreadful that it has taken so many months to resolve the situation.
Councilwoman Shackleton says she's going to get to the bottom of how city officials have allowed the Laurel Clinic to operate.
There's something wrong with the process that allows this to go on for many months without it being resolved one way or the other.
Last week, we heard about Dr. Milan Vujic and his downtown abortion clinic. We heard about Andrea Furr, who had to have a hysterectomy at the age of 18 after Vujic lacerated her uterus and bowel. We heard about 2 women who died after Vujic gave them abortions. And this 17-year-old says Vujic gave her half of an abortion because she couldn't pay him what he wanted. Records show that city officials have known about the serious problems at the clinic for the past 5 years. For nearly 2 of those years, Vujic's clinic has been operating openly with an expired license. City officials say it's legal.
That's not my responsibility. Their responsibility is to issue the license.
Today at a news conference at the district building, we tried to talk to D.C. Mayor Marion Barry about it. Mr. Mayor, why have you allowed Dr. Milan Vujic to operate his abortion clinic in Washington with an expired license? We've been unable to get access any other way, Mr. Mayor.
After this press conference over, we'll talk to you about it.
But after the press conference, Barry sent press spokeswoman Annette Samuels out to tell us that Barry had changed his mind. Is the mayor going to have any comment on this case?
No, he is not going to have a comment on this case.
But while the mayor won't comment, D.C. Councilman John Wilson told us that he's appalled and disgusted with the city's conduct. He said, quote, "There's no excuse for what happened, no excuse whatsoever." We'll keep you posted on what happens at the Laurel Clinic. Mark Feldstein, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Eyewitness News has learned that the FBI and a federal grand jury are investigating a major theft of computers from the Commerce Department. The target of the investigation is Washington businessman John Milton Mudd, who's charged with receiving nearly $100,000 in stolen federal property. According to sources, one of the 12 stolen computers was found at Mudd's Southwest apartment on September 26th, 6 days after the robbery. Police had been called to the apartment after Mudd and his girlfriend reportedly got into a fight, and Mudd was shot. Sources tell Eyewitness News Mudd is well connected in local politics and has been one of the players at Mayor Barry's weekly poker games. The warden and the assistant warden of the Maryland Penitentiary's South Wing have been demoted following a report citing them for deplorable prison conditions. The Baltimore facility was the site of the stabbing death of a prison guard last month. Saying that he cannot make excuses for their mismanagement of the prison, Governor Harry Hughes has reassigned Warden Leslie Dorsey and Assistant Patricia Schuppel to administrative duties. 2 officials of the Maryland House of Correction have been named to replace them. D.C. police tonight are investigating the stabbing of a Southeast man. Police say Kevin Caldwell was stabbed in the hallway of his home at 1430 L Street. He was taken to D.C. General Hospital in critical condition. Investigators believe the victim was stabbed by his twin brother during an argument. No arrest has been made. A 23-year-old Northeast woman is being held without bond tonight, charged with the stabbing death of a Northwest man last night. Police say Paul McCulloch is Sabrina Kennedy's 2nd murder victim in 2 months. In September, Ms. Kennedy was charged with killing Lorenzo Matthews of Northwest, then was released on her own recognizance. Law officials call it a case of revolving door justice. The suspect's mother told Eyewitness News her daughter has a drug and drinking problem, but was refused hospital treatment. Montgomery County Police are looking for the cause of a crash that killed Glen Echo's postmistress and a Cabin John man. 47-year-old Geraldine Olivaria was driving the car that ran off MacArthur Boulevard in Cabin John sometime overnight. She and 34-year-old William Thomas Lynch were found dead this morning. Authorities say speeding contributed to the crash. In Loma Linda, California, the condition of the infant known as Baby Faye has deteriorated, but doctors say the problems are not life-threatening. Baby Faye has been placed back on life support systems and given new medication to help her body fight rejection of the heart of a baboon. The transplant was performed on October 26th. Social workers are stationed in the emergency room of Greater Southeast Community Hospital. They're there to help counsel patients and their families. But often it's Dr. Michael Lippy who seeks a quiet word of comfort or advice. He has the high-pressure job of helping to care for the 54,000 patients who come through the emergency room each year. Steve Gendell reports now on Dr. Lippy and how he does it and why. Well, he doesn't report now, perhaps later. Coming up on Eyewitness News Nightcast, the end of a decade-long search is now in sight for a Virginia woman who's never seen her brother. Cindy DiBiase will have the story when we come back. And some Roman Catholic bishops speak out against the Reagan administration policy in Central America.
BMW presents the only form of interior decoration that ever made a luxury car perform better. Such decorations as an engine driven by microprocessors with an electronic system that actually calculates when service is needed and an internationally patented suspension design. The BMW 528e, the difference between advanced gimmickry and advanced technology.
Contact your authorized BMW dealer for a thorough test drive.
Do you know me? It's frightening how many novels of suspense I've written. But still, when I'm not recognized, it just kills me. So instead of saying I wrote Carrie, I carry the American Express card. Without it, isn't life a little scary?
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Save now during the Value Spectacular at W.R. Blair and John Green & Son. The Brother Portable Electronic Printer will interface with your home computer. Letter quality printing for only $249.97. Eureka Upright Vacuum with dial and app and complete set of cleaning tools. Save now only $79.97. Shop back 10-gallon high-performance wet-dry vacuum with free cleaning tool set. Sale priced at $59.84. Shop the Value Spectacular today at W.R. Blair and John Green & Sons.
People Express flies to New York from Washington, Dulles, and Baltimore for $19 off-peak, $29 peak. A bargain like this only comes along 9 times a day.
Let's go back now to the story Steve Gendell, or at least we promised you Steve Gendell was going to bring us, the story of Dr. Michael Lippy at Greater Southeast Community Hospital and the kind of care he brings to his patients. Steve Gendell reports now on how he does it.
Somebody give me a
why.
Philadelphia collar, please. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? He's moving. Okay, he's moving.
The patient has been in an auto accident, a head-on collision. Among other things, he has hurt his jaw, so he can't say what hurts. A challenge to doctors trying to treat him. But emergency room physician Michael Lippy wouldn't ask to be anywhere else.
Because it's fun. I like it. It's exciting. I like seeing the symptoms. I like trying to piece things together. I like trying to be a detective and figure out what's going on with this person.
But today there's a complication.
Do you have tracks? Yeah. He's got tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, the shooter.
The patient appears to be an addict and may be on drugs.
When a very sick person comes in, and that can be anybody from the President of the United States right down to a homeless street person, alcoholic. When they come in and they're very, very sick, the one thing that I like about emergency medicine is that everybody's the same.
For Dr. Lippy, the challenge comes with the real emergencies, the major trauma, the life and death situations. But the little cases don't get overlooked.
Okay, buddy, now let me tell you what we're going to do here, okay?
Today, 4-year-old Wendell Jones needs a piece of glass removed from his foot. And Dr. Lippy knows the hardest part for Wendell may be just trying not to cry.
Some of the little things, though, you know, I get satisfaction out of that, too. I like it when people come in and are very appreciative for any of the treatment that I give them.
But Mike Lippy can't dwell on any one patient for very long. Today he must treat Rose with congestive heart failure, James with a serious sore throat, and Roderick, who has fallen 30 feet. Mike Lippy's formula to fight stress under these circumstances? First, don't try to deny it. Secondly, he says, don't be afraid to ask for help. But some stresses are harder to handle than others. When a patient dies, for example.
It never gets easier, at least for me. I always feel that sense of sadness walking into the room, having to break the news to someone. Sometimes breaking the news to someone brings a tear to my eye.
Mike Lippy carries a Superman badge in his pocket, but he admits that's just to amuse patients. As we've seen, his real strength is being human.
I love my work. I wouldn't do anything else. If I had it to do all over again, I'd do the same thing.
Steve Gendell, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
The Reagan administration is expanding its war of words against the buildup of Soviet bloc arms in Nicaragua Today, a senior official who will not allow his name to be used told reporters the buildup is similar to Soviet behavior just before the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. And Secretary of State George Shultz, on his way home from Brazil, says the administration will, quote, work in every way we can to cast this aggression and subversive influence out of our hemisphere, end of quote. But at the White House, Larry Speakes called Nicaraguan fears of a United States invasion nonsense. Some Roman Catholic bishops say tonight that the Reagan administration is misleading the public on what is happening in Central America. The bishops were part of a group of about 50 people demonstrating outside the White House. Detroit's Bishop Thomas Gumbleton says current U.S. measures inflict pain and suffering on the region. Bishop Maurice Dingman of Des Moines adds that the United States is adding significantly to the escalated violence in El Salvador and Nicaragua. The two are among 300 bishops attending an annual conference here in Washington. Inside the White House tonight, growing concern over the federal budget deficit. According to reports, administration officials have admitted that the deficit could rise to more than $190 billion a year for the next 4 years. That's much higher than the figures projected during the re-election campaign. White House aides say President Reagan hopes to offset the growing debt with more spending cuts in domestic programs. They were born 1 year apart to the same mother in the same city, but they never knew of each other's existence until a few months ago. Cindy DiBiase now has the story of a Virginia woman's search for her brother. It spans 10 years and 2 continents, a search that will end with a reunion in Washington next month.
Next month, Sergeant Carmen Reuter's dream will come true. She will finally meet a brother she has never seen. Carmen's mother, who gave birth to the 2 children in Germany after World War II, gave both away as infants. Later, she took Carmen back and brought her to the United States. 10 years ago, Carmen began a search for her brother. That search finally ended with a phone call in September.
When I got on the phone and he said, "Ja, Carmen, this is Ingolf." At first I didn't know what to think, and I said, Ingolf, ich spreche Deutsch, I speak German. And we started exchanging dates and names and things like that.
Since that first call, the two have phoned each other and written at least once a week. While we were there tonight, Ingolf called to talk about his upcoming trip to Washington.
Ich weiß nicht.
While the search may be over, for Ingolf, who is 32, and Carmen, who is 33, the anticipation is just beginning.
We're never going to let go of each other. A lasting friendship, it's something that was established immediately, and it's going to stay there forever.
Next month, Ingolf will spend 2 weeks in Washington, and that will be just the start of this new relationship, because next year, Sergeant Reuter will be transferred to Germany, where she'll have a chance to really get to know her newfound family. Cindy DiBiase, Eyewitness News Nightcast.
A few minutes ago, we reported a stabbing on L Street Southeast this evening. Officials at D.C. General now report that the victim, Kevin Caldwell, has died from his wounds. No arrests have been made in that case. Coming up on Nightcast, Gordon Barnes will tell us if Indian summer is on the way this week. We'll be right back.
I'm Bob Altidge. This season's new crop of Santas are already in training. I'll have the story later on Eyewitness News Nightcast.
It wasn't her prize-winning horse that threw Linda 50 feet down and into the river. It was a tire.
I remember the helicopter and MedStar, the trauma unit at the Washington Hospital Center. At the time, we didn't realize MedStar was one of the best in the country. All we knew was they were saving Linda.
After 10 days in a coma, Linda spent 4 months learning to walk and talk all over again. Soon she was even winning again.
Well, with a little help.
Washington Hospital Center, part of Washington Healthcare Corporation. We've got the experience. You've got the choice.
Pruitt, I want Schmidson at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Noonan, I want Schmidson at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Boulder, I want Schmidson at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Edelmeyer. You know who to call when you have to get a package there. But what do you do when you have to get a person there? No matter how crazy the weather. You drive a Subaru, or you may get stuck with something else.
It's a busy world we live in. It can take your breath away. When the going isn't easy, there's an easy going way.
Welcome to TWA, to a business class with more space and comfort, to a flight with more from each of us to you.
So relax and catch the feeling. Take off and get away. You're gonna like us, TWA.
the meetings. We sat through panels, commissions, but people finally stopped arguing and got to work. We found investors. We raised the money. And now, right down there, there's shops and offices, restaurants. Those were abandoned warehouses 10 years ago. I knew there was life in this old city.
Here in Virginia, people with innovative ideas rely on the strength of Sovereign Bank. We're right for the times.
A little brisk out there today, huh?
Oh, no question about it. Good news is that on Thursday we'll have Indian summer for the first time this season. Yes.
How long will it last?
1 day. The high temperature this afternoon at Nashville Airport, 50 degrees. The normal high, 58. Low this morning, 39. Normal low, 40. Dulles low this morning, 36 degrees. Nashville Airport at this hour, temperature is 41 degrees. Dulles is 40. Winds are west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. Relative humidity is at 51%. And the barometer is 30.14 and rising. Air quality index 25, and that is good. This evening's satellite picture for the 48 states shows a huge storm system located in the eastern sections of Montana. It's creating very stormy conditions tonight in the form of heavy snow, strong gusty winds up to 70 and 80 miles an hour over the Rockies, and all of that is spreading out into the plain states and will create adverse conditions tomorrow from the desert southwest on up into the northern plains. Closer to home, still windy and cold, although the winds are beginning to diminish at this hour. Then they'll be down to somewhere between 10 and 15 miles an hour for the balance of the night. High pressure will dominate our area tomorrow, will allow warm southerly breezes to come up during the afternoon hours so that tomorrow will be a little warmer than today. And out to the west, a lot of snow from the Sierra into the northern plains. And then on Thursday, that snow will be moving out into the plains, the upper Midwest, the upper Great Lakes, and also a line of scattered showers will extend from the Great Lakes down to Texas and Louisiana. And Thursday should be a nice day here with even warmer temperatures than tomorrow. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:49 and sunset at 4:55. High tides 11:26 in the morning, 11:37 at night. For tonight, clear, breezy, cold. The winds will be northwesterly 10 to 20 miles an hour. Overnight lows of 27 to 35 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, warmer than today. Variable winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Highs of 55 to 60. And for Thursday, partly sunny and pleasant. And temperatures on Thursday will be in the 60s. And looks like showers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, wonderful. Nice weekend.
Yeah.
Will it be cold, too?
Not till Sunday afternoon.
All right. Coming up on Nightcast, Glenn Berner and a look at the hard-fought Caps Minnesota North Stars game tonight.
I'm Alcott. I'm Andrews. Women need a store that has an abundance of classic career clothing. Women need a store that has an abundance of classic casual clothing. They need it in the right sizes and colors. And they want it at prices that are really fair. That's why Alcott and Andrews is the most exciting, most intelligent new way to shop for classic career and casual clothing. And that's a promise. A commitment. Alcott and Andrews.
Here we all are again. Now I can say I knew you when.
Picture it on Kodacolor VR films, Kodak's sharpest, most dazzling color print films ever.
We really were ahead. You know you haven't changed a bit. Looking fine as time goes by.
Kodak, because time goes by. It first appeared last January at the Greater Cincinnati International Airport. Then it arrived in Los Angeles, and in Memphis, and New York. The AT&T Card Caller phone with an exclusive video display screen. The Card Caller can be used with the AT&T card. It's easier and faster to make calls because the phone does most of the work. Soon it will be coming to airports and hotels across America. The AT&T Card Caller phone. The advantage is plain to see.
Aerodynamic design. Form that follows function. Optimal thrust. Intelligence. Elegance. Every inch, every edge, engineered to perfection. The shape of things to come has come. The Audi 5000S. Sedan, wagon, turbo. Audi. The art of engineering.
Listen to this. The Bullets won their third straight tonight.
Knocking off the Knicks in New York. The final in that one was 103-92. Tinkers, there was the chance. The Bullets led by 1 in the third period when Bernard King hit on the turnaround to put the Knicks on top, 70-69. It was 75 all in the fourth period when Jeff Malone fed Greg Ballard, who will make a nice cross-court pass inside to Cliff Robinson for the alley-oop right here. The Bullets took the lead for good a short time later. Watch the outstanding baseline move here by Robinson to put him up by 6. The fake there, he goes around and stuff. Then down at the other end, Ricky Mahorn will block the shot. That starts to break. Catch the move by Gus Williams. It's either a great move or he's got to be walking. I don't know which, but that put him in front by 13. Then Williams again, this time inside to Rulin. Who'll go for a rare jam as they go on to win it 103-92. The Bullets, as we mentioned, now won 3 straight. They're home tomorrow night against San Antonio. Elsewhere in the NBA tonight, Chicago beat San Antonio 120-117. Ozell Jones there for the slam. Michael Jordan had 45 points tonight, getting 2 right here on that nice move. Then watch Jordan again, this time with the steal. But can he do it for 82 games? That's the thing that we're wondering about right now in the jam. But he had 45 tonight as Chicago wins it. The Caps in Minnesota North Stars played to a 3-3 tie tonight at the Cap Center. There was no score in the first period. The Caps threatening the Minnesota end. Scott Stevens will shoot. Doug Jarvis will deflect this shot by Gilles Meloche to make it 1-0. The North Stars came back to tie it up, but then the Caps took the lead. Doug Jarvis to Mike Gardner. Nothing fancy, just cranks up and drills it by Meloche right there, 2-1 Caps. The North Stars came back to tie it up again. Neil Broughton to Craig Hartsburg, who will beat Jensen. This will make it 2-all. With 49 seconds left in the second period, Dave Christian shoots. Bobby Carpenter will be there to put in the miss to put the Caps on top 3-2. You see it right there in front. With just under 7.5 minutes to play, Neil Broughton feeds Tom McCarthy, who'll score. This makes it 3-all. The Caps were lucky to come out of there with a tie tonight, and you'll see why in just a second. Watch the Broughton shot right here. It hits both posts and does not go in. So they hold on for the 3-3 tie. Chicago Cubs second baseman Ryan Sandberg was today voted the National League's most valuable player for the 1984 season. Sandberg helped the Cubs to their first title of any kind in 39 years. While doing so, he hit .314, had 36 doubles, 19 triples, 19 home runs. He also had 84 RBIs and 32 stolen bases. Keith Hernandez of the Mets finished second. Gordon Peterson voting for Benny Ayala, I think, this year again. Well, yeah, you love that guy. Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics and Julius Erving of the Philadelphia 76ers today both fined $7,500 apiece for their part in last Friday night's bench-clearing brawl in Boston. The brawl started when Irving and Bird exchanged elbows and shoves coming down the floor. Bird wound up on the floor. He protested to the official, but no foul was called. It was then that Bird apparently decided to take the law into his own hands. He stalked Irving, who seemed to want to forget the incident. You'll see that in just a second. As Irving pats Bird on the back, Bird will shove Irving. Hurry up, Larry. And Irving then grabbed Bird around the throat. You'll see it right here. There's Irving trying to talk him out of it. And then Bird shoves him, and Irving grabs him around the throat. Then Moses Malone grabbed Bird by the head and tried to twist it off. You see that right here. Malone was fined $3,000. Boston's M.L. Carr made his appearance. He was fined with $3,000. He stayed there long enough to get slapped with the fine and by Moses Malone. Sixer coach Billy Cunningham and 15 other players were fined an additional $15,500 for their respective roles in the Rumble. We're talking about a $30,000 fight here. Anyway, at 6 tonight, Gordon Peterson asked the question, what happens to the fine money once the league collects it? It could be a question that rocks this nation. We called the Bullets. They did not know. James Brown called at least 3 or 4 of his sources around the league, including Pat Riley, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He did not know. What I want to know now is that Gordon Peterson and I will continue our investigation, and hopefully we'll have the answer at 6 tomorrow night. Quite frankly, I can see a book and a movie in this. I think it's another Woodward and Bernstein, another Cagney and Lacey kind of thing. We could be that big before it's over, babe. But we'll stay on top of it.
Page.
You have a right to know, and that's the way we feel about it.
Stay with us, Scoop.
Okay.
We finished with them. We're going after the NFL.
Press hat. Yes, right.
Some Santas have arrived in Washington from the North Pole, but many of them are planning to go an extra mile for area children. We'll explain when Eyewitness News Nightcast continues.
You know, you can deal with a bank year after year, and still they treat you like a nobody. You open accounts, take them your hard-earned money, and they act like you're not even there. That's why I changed to Bank of Virginia. They know a good customer when they see one. I can get loan discounts, an investment savings account where I call the shots, and the kind of service I thought disappeared years ago. Really, for the first time in my life, I feel like somebody.
See for yourself. It's worth making the change to Bank of Virginia.
At your capital area Chevy dealers, everywhere you look, you're looking at winners. Like this tough Chevy S10. It beats Toyota and Datsun in trailing capacity by 3,000 pounds and offers more optional equipment than any other pickup in its class. During our big winter sale, get an optional V6 engine on some S10s at no extra cost, plus hundreds of dollars in discounts on S10 and all other Chevys. We're not just out to win, we're out to win big, with big savings to you at your capital area Chevy dealers.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
Well, you have to wait. So sorry.
Avis knows how frustrating it is to wait for your rental car. That's why we invented the Wizard number, so you can go right from your plane to the Avis bus.
I hate to wait.
We'll get you on your way and into your car fast. We know you hate to wait, so from reservation to return.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
We're trying harder, faster.
I hate to wait.
Highlights from the Battle of the Brands. The challenger, representing over 600 People's Brand products, has beaten the no-names, the discounters, the warehousers, and the national brands. Our own People's Brand products have been tested by independent laboratories and found comparable to national brands in quality. Time and time again, the challenger has KO'd the competition with prices 20 to 60% lower. People's Brand, value that can't be beat, only at People's Drugstores.
It's getting close to that time again. Soon children all over America will be lining up in department stores to have a chat with Santa Claus. And now's the time when all those Santas are, of course, there's only one real one, you know. They're getting their acts ready. Bob Aldrich reports on a school for Santas here in Washington that is taking the craft a step farther.
Secondly, you must...
If you've got the kids, Joe Jeff Goldblatt's got the Santa. In his Connecticut Avenue office, just down the hall from a dance studio, he turns ordinary kid-loving adults into seasonal heroes. And then Goldblatt's firm, the Wonder Company, markets them to area department stores, malls, and charity bazaars. This year, there's a new dimension, Santas for the hearing impaired.
We decided, having read about signing Santas throughout the United States, that there must be a market for this. And if there wasn't, that we would create one.
But first, all of the Santa trainees must learn something about the role, and Goldblatt's standards are high.
When you put the belt on, make sure that you lift it up. It's not down like this, which conveys a beer belly or some sort of a malt belly, but you lift it up just like this, all right? When it's vertical, to the eye, it's a more positive feeling about Santa Claus. And now, the second area is the tip of the nose. Now, why would we do the tip of the nose? Who knows? Red.
From the cold?
From the cold, that's right, and only from the cold, okay? Only from the cold, those of you adults with other minds.
When their training is over, the new Santas can expect to earn about $8 to $15 an hour. Their suits supplied by the Wonder Company, which is now marketing its Santas for the hearing impaired.
In fact, our sales and marketing director is on the telephone every day, calling major shopping centers, department stores, and encouraging them to devote one day or more during the Christmas season and advertise it for the hearing impaired, that a professional signing Santa will be in residence. We hope it'll be ours.
There's a good chance it will be. By the time the shopping season begins, Goldblatt expects to have 70 Santas out there making their lists. Bob Aldrich, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Well, they're trying to recruit us there?
I guess.
Yes. So, that's our report for now. For Gordon Barnes, Glenn Brenner, all the Santas out there, Courtney Peterson here. Have a nice evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nice.